we are going to go over the road not taken, and we're going to talk about this. Now, this is hard. A lot of it is because how it's worded. Can you look at yours, John Carter, even though you're there? Okay, so in the first, this is what you should have in the first one. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Sorry, I could not travel both. So highlight not. Okay, anytime you see a negative like that, it'll have to be an adverb. And B1 traveler long, I stood. So long should be highlighted.
Wait, should those be highlighted?
No. No. So long is describing stood. How I stood long. Or you could say to what extent did I stand? I stood long.
How, like, what does what extent even say, asking?
Like, to what extent means to what degree. Okay, like really, extremely, very. Okay, and looked down one as far as I could. So down would be one that answers the question where. Okay. Oh, I did. Okay, and looked down one as far as. Yeah, I meant to look that up because I think far is an object of a preposition there. Okay, so this is, remember, sometimes adverbs can be a preposition or they can be an adverb.
Yeah, that's what I was getting confused, because some of them were like,
Yeah, and so because as is a preposition, I wouldn't underline that. Okay, next line, then. Then is always going to be an adverb. That's just one you can say, then will always be an adverb. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps, that's one, the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted where, though as for that, the passing there, you can highlight there, had warned them really, highlight really, that's a to what extent, that shows degree, had warned them really about the same, and both that morning equally, highlight equally, equally lay, so it's describing how did it lay, or to what extent did it lay equally. In leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever, and back, ever come back.
Would another not be one?
Where's another?
or another.
No, because another is describing day, so that's an adjective, okay? And then the last one, I should be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. So you would highlight less.
I only got 9. Okay.
Okay? And that has made all the difference. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there's actually 11.
Wait, what? I have
You only have 9. So first stanza, not long and down.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Okay? Not long and down in the first stanza.
And where?
That's an object of a preposition. Okay? So that's the tricky part. This is hard. I had to check and double check, but here's what I want, why I had you do it. I just want you to get used to asking questions and going, is it answering an adverb question? Is it modifying a verb or a noun? Is it a preposition? That's what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna go over the homework. And I'm just curious, how many people thought it was difficult to label the parts of speech? Okay, you honest ones. Okay, John Carter, you can come back up here. So we're gonna go over this, and we're gonna go through the diagramming as we go over it. So what I want is, let's see, Josie, can I start with you? Can you just read number 1 and tell us the part of speech for each one?
Okay, their timid leader tentatively put one fat callous foot on the ground. There and timid are adjectives, leader is the subject, tentatively is an adverb, foot is a verb, one fat callous are all adjectives,
Good.
foot is the direct object, on is the preposition, lead is an adjective, and grass is the object of the preposition.
Okay, so I think it's helpful to put brackets around your prepositions. It just helps me to go, those are extra words, okay? Does anybody have any questions about that? Nobody? So if we look up here, we've got the skeleton. Leader is what the sentence is about. Put is what's being said. Put what? Foot. Then we have lots of modifiers. There and timid modifies leader. Okay. Tentatively is how they put their foot. And then Tracy did this prepositional phrase, which we haven't done yet, but I'm going to point it out. If a prepositional phrase answers an adverb question, then it's adverbial. So where did he put his foot? On the grass. And then what kind of foot? The calloused, fat ones. The one fat, calloused foot. Okay, questions about that? Okay, very good. So 2, John Carter, can you read the parts of speech for 2?
All of them?
Yes.
Okay, well, she is the subject, then gingerly are
Then and gingerly are what?
adjective,
They're adverbs. What are they describing?
place,
Placed. Okay, when did they place and how did she place?
then gingerly is adverb, and then verb is placed, these an adjective, others an adjective, is flip the,
Direct object.
and then what would down be? That, like,
What question does it answer?
where?
Where?
So it's another adverb.
It's another adverb.
Foot.
Mm-hmm. That's where those adverb questions are so helpful. So you were diagramming this, and I think it's always good, like we've done all along, find your skeleton. What's the subject, what's the verb, what's the direct object, and if there's an indirect object. So she placed, and actually, what did she place? Addison, what's the direct object in number 2? Foot, okay?
That's why I was.
That's okay. This is good. This is tough, and every mistake is a chance for us to learn it together. So she placed foot, and then you've got when did she place it? Then how did she place it? Gingerly. And then where did she place it? Down. Okay, and then 2 adjectives modifying foot, the other. Question? Okay, if you didn't do this, you should be writing this down. Okay?
Just down under place.
Because it's an adverb answering where. Where did she place her foot? Now, I don't think I said it to this class yesterday, but adverbs can come anywhere in the sentence. You've learned that adjectives have to be right next to the noun or pronoun they modify. Adverbs can come anywhere. So in sentence 2, down is an adverb at the end of the sentence. Placed is the verb in the middle. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be next to each other. That's part of what makes adverbs so versatile and tricky. Okay, number 3 is long, and I think that I did not cross out. There are some things on these sentences that we haven't gotten to, like infinitive. So in this one, you did not need to label to waddle, because that's an infinitive. But Mariah, can you say what are the sentence parts?
For 3.
Mm-hmm.
She is the subject, pause is the verb, thoughtfully is the adverb, scratch, is the verb, fur is an adjective, forehead is the direct object, and is the coordinating conjunction, then's an adverb, started is the verb. Is to waddle an infinitive?
It's an infinitive. If you didn't get anything for that, that's fine.
Quite is the adverb, usually is an adverb, toward is preposition, a is an adverb, dim is an a is the adjective, dim is the adjective, and light is the object of preposition.
Okay, very good. So to waddle, we're not doing. Now, if we were diagramming this and we're not, this would be like a fun little rocket ship because there's one subject and there are 3 verbs, so it would have looked like that. Okay, I just want you to know that's possible, but I didn't have you guys do that. Questions about 3, Dominic?
Oh, no, I just didn't know if I could keep going.
Yeah, that'd be great. Go ahead and do
There's
4.
just one thing, what was soon on, that's one I just didn't get.
Adverb.
Yeah, so what, again, if you see a word and you're like, what is that? Does it answer an adverb question? When?
Oh.
Yes.
And
Okay.
so, did Dia say adjective? And then Ray also said adjective?
object. That's an objective pronoun, so her is the direct object, yes.
And I said but for coordinating conjunction, D is the adjective, more and casual is adverb. And alien is also subject again, home is a verb, back is an adverb, inside is a preposition, or D is the adjective, door is the object of the preposition, then of is also a preposition, D and silver are both adjectives, and the station is object of the preposition.
Okay, that was so good, especially as long as that was. Now, today we're gonna learn about something else, fun, but this little hung back, we're gonna talk about this in a minute, but I want you to write above it, this is a phrasal verb. That whole thing together is a phrasal verb. Okay, so with the knowledge that you had up to this point, if you wrote verb, adverb, great. But I just want to say this is a phrasal verb, and we're going to talk about that later. Okay, number 5. Addison, could you do that?
Suddenly they heard a short, high-pitched yelp. Suddenly is an adverb. They is the subject noun. Heard is a verb. A is an adjective. Short is an adjective. High-pitched is an adjective. And yelp is. I wasn't sure what yelp was.
What do you guys think? What's yelp?
Direct object.
It's a direct object.
Oh, is that a-
They heard what? A yelp. Part of it may not know what a yelp is, but a yelp is a scream. So, and they is a subject pronoun, okay? So subject pronoun. And where did we do, okay, here it is. So they, subject, heard, verb, direct object, yelp. Okay, what question does suddenly answer? How or when? Either of that would have been fine. So, I probably would go more with when. Like, huh? Yeah. Okay. Like, when did they hear it? They heard it suddenly. Maybe that would be a how often you
Yeah,
can
that would
hear
be
it.
more.
Yeah, I think that would make more sense. Okay, and then what kind of yelp? A short, high pitched. All that are adjectives describing yelp. Okay? Questions about that? Okay, Eli, did you do 6? Do you have that one done?
I do not, but I can try.
Okay, go for it. Thank you.
The little alien regained his composure right away and curious about the strange
Nope,
creature.
number 6.
That's not the right one.
The youngest alien had stepped accidentally on the tail of a small furry creature, and both of them cried out instinctively. The youngest are adjectives.
Good.
Alien is the subject. Had stepped is the verb phrase. So had is a helping verb and stepped is the main verb.
Good.
And accidentally is an adverb. On is a preposition. The is an adjective. Tail is the object of the preposition. Of is a preposition. A small furry are adjectives. Creature is a object of the preposition. And is a conjunction. Both. Both is an adjective.
It's a subject pronoun.
Subject pronoun, okay. Of them, of is a preposition. Them is an object of the preposition. Cried, out, cried is a verb, out is an adverb, and instinctively is an adverb.
Okay, that was very impressive. You did that all on the cuff. Now, I want you to put cried out in brackets and do the same thing. That's a phrasal verb. It looks like one verb and an adverb, but we're gonna talk about what is a phrasal verb in a few minutes, okay? Okay, so did you guys diagram this, number 6? Okay. Number 6. Okay, so who or what is about aliens? What's being said about aliens followed who? Her. No, that's not the one we did.
You told me number 4.
Number 6 is the youngest alien had stepped.
No one did that.
No,
Which
we
one
didn't.
is this?
It's number 4.
We didn't go over number.
Oh, we didn't go over 4. You know what? The little asterisk did not photocopy on mine. Okay. Well, let's do number 4 then. So aliens followed her. And then, what kind of aliens? The braver. When did the aliens follow? soon. And then we've got a coordinating conjunction, aliens hung. And I would put this hung back on one line. What kind of aliens? The cowardly aliens, and really good how this person put more. So more is an adverb describing to what extent they were cowardly, they were more cowardly. And then all of those prepositions, which we haven't gotten to, and if you didn't diagram them, that's fine. That would go under the verb. Okay? Okay, so 4, did we do 5?
Yes,
No,
I did five.
but we didn't,
Oh, it's right.
we did 5 on the board, yes. And we did, so what is this one up here? Okay, that's 8. So 6, 7, let's do 7. Matt, can you do 7? Tell us the parts of speech.
Okay. You want me to read it first?
No,
Little is an adjective
and what's the?
preposition.
That's an adjective too. So the and little are adjectives.
Okay. Alien, subject, regain, verb. Is composure.
So alien regained what? Hey,
Oh, is that just?
hold on just.
No, I just have a writing question.
Okay.
If it's a scientific paper, do you have to write out the numbers?
I don't think so. So scientific papers, a lot of times will be Chicago style or APA, NLA is more for history. English papers, when you write out numbers. But there are different rules for science papers.
So if they're writing out a percentage, they should be just like 7-8%.
They should write it out as a number.
7, write out.
There's 2 ways with percentages. You can write 78 and write percentage out in words, or you can do it with a percentage sign. I would say for a science paper, you can Google that really quickly, but science papers are written in a different format, and we're doing NLA. So I would just say the easy thing is have them write numbers as numbers. It's a science paper. That's a good rule of thumb.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Aren't you guys excited you get to write papers in science?
No.
Do you see how writing like penetrates? You might even have to write a paper in math.
No.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
No.
Like on the Pythagorean theorem or
Doesn't make
something?
sense.
Okay. Do you know, one of the 8th grade, when we did remote learning, I still remember this, the 8th graders had to submit a homework where they explained how to work a problem. They had to give like a little speech and explain how you, yeah, it was really cool actually. You recorded yourself and then you uploaded it.
Well,
I
it's
liked
hard
it.
in science because you have to like get all this like information about. I don't know. It's just hard.
Science papers are different. And as I recall, is there anybody in here that loves science? Do I have any science people? Okay, so let me tell you, the winning combination in science is if you like science, you're good at science, and you can write well. It is very hard to find science people who can write well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Those 2 things are a great combination. Okay, this is getting tiresome.
And
We just look
We should go outside.
I'm going to sleep.
Really? We really should.
It's dry now.
Okay,
I'll promise you to find a dry area outside.
you guys, okay. So let me just explain something to you. We have had a lot of rain, and when there's rain, the ground is wet, and now the wind is picking up.
But it's dry.
There are flying objects.
Can we go on pavement?
Okay, hold on.
It's dried it.
You guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop at number 8, okay? We're gonna go on to phrasal verbs, and then we'll think about going outside. Okay, Tracy, did we do 7? Did we finish it?
Yeah, I was like,
Matt, you were making like this heroic effort. So what is composure, Matt?
Composure?
Yes.
Easy.
I don't think it's easy.
No, neither do I, but I was just trying to be confident.
Okay.
Comma's in the wrong place in the sentence, isn't it?
Uh,
I'm just pointing it out.
Okay.
Might be-
Thank you.
Is it?
I'm doing punctuation. I think the comma's in the wrong spot.
Somebody else wrote this sentence, and I would agree with you guys, but I know why they did it. This isn't a positive.
Nice.
So they did it like that. Okay. Okay, Matt, I'm going to cut you off because I'm going to say this very quickly. Composure is a direct object.
That was what I was about to go with.
I know you were going to say that, but I'm just going to say this quickly for our listening audience and for you guys. His is an adjective. Composure is a direct object. Right away. Both of those together are an adverb. Okay? Right away. It answers when. And is a conjunction. Curious is an adjective. About is a preposition. The, strange, are adjectives. Creature is object of a preposition. He is a subject pronoun. Carefully is an adverb. Reached is a verb. Down is an adverb. And then we're going to just cross out the rest, but to pick up is an infinitive. The and frightened are adjectives, and mouse is direct object. Okay, but we haven't gotten to that, and I crossed it out for the other classes. Okay, so number 8, Tracy.
Okay, D is an adjective, mouse is the subject, Bill is an adverb.
Adverb describing terrified, which is a
Go girl.
Good.
And then dash is the verb, and then away is an adverb.
good. And look over here how it's done. Okay, the mouse. What kind of mouse? The terrified. Okay, still would answer what question?
How, to where?
How terrified or
How, where?
how often?
To what extent?
I'd say how often.
How often?
How often? Anything that refers to time,
I think we need to
how
do
often?
We need to do the song.
Dashed and away. Okay. So you guys, it's more of this. Okay, wake up. Let's do our song, and then we're gonna learn about phrasals.
Wiki.
Matt is going to lead us in the song. Go ahead. Just start us.
It's not the.
How often? How much? Under what condition? Keep going. Right here. I want these two rows to do it together. And add
Where is
You
it?
don't know what you need to get out your sheet. Hopefully in your clean notebook. Okay, Eli, Matt, Amelia, John
I
Carter.
have the list. I have it.
Amelia, are you ready?
No.
Addison.
Yeah, I got it.
It's like me.
I know, really, but.
Give me it.
How, when, where?
Okay, right here. Hold on. Hey, guys, I am going to do a little throw competition.
Oh!
Let's see. I'm gonna put you.
I'm
ready.
ready.
Ian, come here. Okay, you ready? You guys are going. I'm listening to see how accurate you are. It shouldn't be hard since you have the sheet. You ready?
How,
1, 2, 3. We're not even in a row.
how, when, where, why?
Okay, wait. Matt, these two rows together.
5, 4, 3,
2, 1. How, when, where, why, to what extent? How often, how much, under what condition?
Okay. That was okay. That was okay. Addison, you gotta get the syncopation. There's a little pause.
Okay, so let's start us.
What is syncopation?
Just a second.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, ready? 3. Wait, 3, 2, 1.
If it was good. Okay, you guys look like you were having almost a seizure or something.
It was so
Okay.
good.
That was really confident. Quiet for these two rows. Ready?
We won.
We
all
actually-
lost. That's a